Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, welcome. I'm DarkHour717, and this is the weekly news review of the Star Citizen universe for the week of 30 April. This is where I'm going to bring you the latest information released over the last week, all pertaining to Star Citizen. And what a week it's been. Before we get started though, do me a huge favor. If you enjoy these updates, just hit that like and subscribe button. Help me reach that 5,000 subscriber mark. Right now, with only 11% of the folks out there subscribed, if we can just get a fraction of the other 89% to subscribe, we'd reach that mark in no time. I personally think all of you that have already subscribed, it really does mean a lot to me. But also stick around till the end of the video to see how you can get entered into YouTube exclusive giveaway of the X-52 HOTAS that'll be awarded on May 1st. So this has really been a huge week for Star Citizen, with most major of the items being the launch of patch 317 to the live PU. This has definitely been highly anticipated, with lots of great and amazing features coming with it. Patch 317 really did get off to a rocky start and raised some concerns, but I'll admit, though not perfect, the final product we saw launched into live was a complete opposite from what we initially experienced. Though many of the smaller known issues and bugs did carry over into the live release, I can say that our experience through a 6-hour stream Friday night was extremely smooth, and we only had one 30K crash, and outside of that, very few other issues. We did see though that some of the org members had some inventory problems on initial launch, and one had to do a character reset before they could get into the game at all. What we did not see though was any issue with infinite or lengthy load screens, no issues with flickering. Inventory for us mostly worked as it should and really was an amazing playthrough. Of course, with 317 we have a full list of new features, including Maria Pure of Heart Hospital, and this of course now completes all the major medical facilities throughout Stanton. We also saw unique space stations clinic layouts, the river out at Microtech, ship-to-ship refueling, shopping and selling gameplay with the lootables. The Mist Hull A is now in-game, and new carryable storage containers are also available. The ability to transport ship components via the ship's local inventory is a huge inclusion for us, and of course, what's my favorite addition? The one-touch ATC landing. And there was so much more added in beyond that. I'll of course do a full review of our experience post-launch in another video before the weekend is over though. But there are a couple things to definitely be aware of with this latest patch now that it's gone live. One of the major issues is Windows 7 support and compatibility. This is one that I find that is catching many players off guard, and even a couple in our own org and Discord. With 317, we see now a dependency on DirectX 11.1. So the listed minimum requirements have actually changed to be as follows. The minimum requirement is an operating system of Windows 8.1 or newer. Your CPU needs to be a quad-core CPU. With Intel, it's Sandy Bridge or newer, and with AMD, you're going to need a Bulldozer or newer CPU. Your GPU needs to be DirectX 11.1 compatible with a minimum of 3 GB of VRAM. Memory is going to be a minimum of 16 GB, and your storage is going to be a minimum of 80 GB. Now that's the minimum specs. What CIG actually recommends is slightly different. The operating system recommended is of course Windows 10 with the latest servers pack. The CPU is going to be the same as what the minimum spec is. GPU, they are saying it should be DirectX 11.1 compatible with a minimum of 4 GB of VRAM. And your memory really should be 16 GB of DDR4 RAM. And of course the storage requirement doesn't change over the minimum spec. Windows 11 support is still being worked on, and they ask that anyone using it post issue console reports with any problems that they do find. The link for that will be in the description to post those reports if you run across them. If you do want to get an idea of how your system compares, you can always visit the telemetry dashboard, and I'll put a link in the description to that, and you'll be able to see how it compares to other systems. What this means though is that systems running on the older Windows 7 operating system will no longer run the game. As they've already received many support tickets in regards to this, they may note that the support desk will not be able to help find a resolution to get around the issue, as the only way to resolve it is to move to a newer operating system. Of course, for anyone out there still running Windows 7, you can always visit many of the license key sites to find a discounted key for an upgrade. I typically will use G2A myself, and their pricing is extremely fair, and customer support I find is excellent. I'll place a link in the description for that site for anybody that needs it. Also be aware that it is reported that Reshade is possibly causing some issues and may cause the game to incorrectly register your GPU and system as not compatible and can prevent you from playing as well. It is highly recommended by CIG to disable this third-party application until the conflict is resolved. Outside the release of 317, we did have our usual list of information resources. Of course, Inside Star Citizen has returned now that Jared is in the UK, as well as Star Citizen Live. But we started the week with our typical This Week in Star Citizen, going through and announcing the return of the end of the week shows, the weekly lore update, and the news that the latest jump point will be released on Friday. Tuesday, of course, we did get the newest lore post, and this week it was a Galactopedia update consisting of information and links to all the full-length and short articles out there for us to read. I definitely recommend checking them out. They really do an amazing job with the lore. Link for the update is in the description. And of course, Wednesday we got the newest roadmap roundup, and the progress tracker was updated with information in regard to changes in the downstream teams. In regards to the vehicle tech team, work on Arena Commander, Star Marine, and Theaters of War has been transitioned from Fire Sprite to the internal vehicle tech team and has now been renamed the Arena Commander tech team. We also saw the vehicle experience team is now merged with the vehicle feature team and will remain the vehicle feature team, and this will follow the process much like the core gameplay pillar in developing for Squadron 42 first and then porting everything over to the PU. The UI feature team has been renamed the Squadron 42 UI feature team, and they're going to follow suit with that same plan of developing for Squadron 42 and then porting everything into the PU afterwards. Additions that we saw on the roadmap, of course, are the AR and map marker rework, doors, airlocks, light panels UI, Mobi-Glass rework, and visor lens rework, all added to the Squadron 42 UI feature team schedule. And that was all that was really listed for the roadmap roundup, but one important thing to point out, and some have actually noticed that a large number of time frames have been extended on the progress tracker. As an example, the RSI Scorpius is actually extended out until late June, and this was viewed by some as a sign of delay for the launch and questioned what was happening. Of course, the last report we had is that the RSI Scorpius is moving along as expected and is on track for a 317X premiere. A posted answer from CIG did state when asked about this that the Scorpius is on track for 317X release, and the additional time seen on the progress tracker is standard for scheduling, as overflow is scheduled just in case. Of course, it makes sense to do this, and in the past, the progress tracker didn't always reflect that overflow. But it is reasonable that as a new item is released, it does not stop needing support, and adding time in for things such as balance, bug fixes, and adjustments just makes sense. But I will say it was actually nice to see a response given in regards to this concern. We also got the MISC Expanses Q&A, and this was posted, and we got some more detailed information in regard to the new refinery ship. We see discussions on why the refinery ship will have benefits over the large refinery stations, as well as expectation from time benefits you'll see with a ship versus the station. They also discuss the process, which can be done manually or automatically with interactions such as grinding, dissolving, and melting materials yourself, and the ability to try your own methods outside of the predefined refining method. They did mention that refining will not be a process that can continue while the ship is stored, so be aware if you start it, you're going to be there until it finishes, as storing the ship is going to halt the process, possibly reset it, or even lose all of the materials and you'll be out. It looks like also the Expanse will be compatible with all mining vessels, including the Grey Cat, as well as the Vulture in refining scrap materials. Many other questions are asked, and a link to the Q&A is going to be in the description. I definitely recommend checking it out. Thursday, we did get the newest Inside Star Citizen, and this week it was Jared from the UK, and making note the next quarter may be a bit different with different recording locations as they still continue to relocate. Starting off, the latest episode was Forrest Stefan discussing the biome. The differences in the accumulation and effects you see in the weather effects between armor, weapons, and other details of your character. Discussing of looking at trying to find a way to make it more consistent, and looking to make changes to make it procedural so that it takes the labor off the artist. This also will create a more consistent look and also be able to really showcase the different types of accumulation with visual differences between the different types of materials that can accumulate on your character. After that, we got a sprint report showcasing NPC collision resolver, allowing NPCs to pass through situations that they currently can't move through. Also, we saw the AI flight path system that will lead to a more natural and smooth flight pattern, and they'll be able to make decisions and also land in areas that they discover on their own. Another item that we saw is NPC reactions, with a security team showcasing the different types of NPC reactions, as well as an example of the reactions with usables like vending machines. These reactions consisted of things as just getting their drink, sitting down, drinking it, and then throwing the can away, all the way up to the machine malfunctioning and them not getting what they tried to purchase and the anger that ensues. Of course, during that bit, the voiceover here by Jared was a little bit cringy. After that, we saw an update on the derelict outpost, and I'm excited for these. They showed off a white box traversal test, and it really looked great. I think once these get in game, it will make a great environment addition. We did see early pre-production work on a debris field also in Pyro from a destroyed station, and that looked absolutely amazing. And to have points of interest like this will be great addition for exploration and the new system in Pyro. On top of that, we also saw Merlin exploring another area that it was flying through, and we don't really know much about this area, but Jared said that we would find out more about it later in the year. I am really excited to find out what this area is and being able to explore locations like this. Pyro is really turning out to be something that everybody is looking forward to, and I think once it gets in game, it's going to be absolutely unbelievable. Friday, we did get the latest episode of Star Citizen Live with Rune of Home, a game dev spotlight where Jared is joined by Fred Dupierre, a senior concept artist from the Montreal office. This show really spotlighted the creation process, in which they go through the hour and create a concept and art for the game, and this week it was a derelict outpost. And they also discussed the ability to reuse previous pieces to build new locations. These sessions are always interesting, especially in the aspect of seeing the creative process. Of course, the little things that happen during the session, such as Jared getting a call or being made a character in the art, is always funny to see. But the site creative course was extremely impressive, and the art, as always, is amazing. I definitely recommend checking out the full episode if you're really into the creative process as well as the concept art, and links are going to be in the description. Friday, we also got the latest jump point, and in this issue, we saw a spotlight on the creation of the MISC Hull A, as well as an in-depth look at Musashi Industrial and Starflight Concern. This is the manufacturer of the Hull A, as well as many other ships in the verse. It also included a Whitley's Guide on the Starfarer and an article in regards to Widow. This, of course, is one of the many illegal substances within the verse. We ended the jump point with a look at the subscriber flare for May, which is going to be the NVTAC firearm lights for our FPS weapons. Of course, subscribers will receive up to 2 of the 3 available lights, and all will be available in the subscriber store for pledge. These, of course, will also be discoverable in loot boxes after 90 days from their release. Friday, as mentioned, we also finally got the release of 317 to the live PU, and along with it, we saw the posting of 317 specific guides and information, as well as MISC sales event. Alpha 317 Fueling Fortunes will take you through the patch notes as well as all the new features with patch 317. There was also a Things to Do guide for the verse with patch 317, and this lists all the different gameplay loops and activities you can experience in the verse currently. You can also click on Introduction to the MISC Hull A, which will take you to the detailed information on the latest ship release for the verse, along with its available sales packages, and added for launch is a trio of sharp-looking paints for this newest edition. With the launch, we're also celebrating the MISC series of ships, with many available up for sale. This includes, of course, the Expanse and all flyable MISC ships, such as the Razor series, Starfarers, Freelancers, and of course the Reliant series. There's also the addition of a new MISC Flyables pack, which includes all of the flyable MISC ships in one pack. Links for these sales are going to be in the description below. And that's about all there is for this week, of course, and that is definitely quite a bit. I hope you found the information useful, and don't forget to get your entries in for the giveaway of a Logitech X52 HOTAS we'll be awarding on May 1st. Just subscribe and comment on any video here on YouTube and you'll automatically be entered. And due to the short time before the end of the month, subscribe and comment on this video specifically, and you'll also be included for May's giveaway of the MISC Expanse. That will be awarded on June 1st, and good luck to everybody who decides to enter. Remember, you can also catch the streams on Twitch every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and get an additional entry by following on Twitch for that MISC Expanse. If you would like to help support the channel, check out the merch store or the Patreon, and I definitely greatly appreciate it, as that's what allows us to do the giveaways back to the community. You can also become a member here on YouTube by clicking that join button and get in for as little as 99 cents per month. Thank you again, everybody, for checking out the video. Be safe out there, and we will catch you next time.